Yes guys, hope you're all well. The topic for today is why stretching probably isn't fixing your weightlifting injury. So I'm not completely against stretching and it can be useful for some injuries, but the majority of injuries I'm dealing with clients are normally a tendon related issue. You might have heard of tendonitis before, or what it's more commonly known as now, which is a tendinopathy. Very simply, tendons in our body, so for example the patella tendon at the knee, have a certain amount of load they can tolerate, so their capacity, and they can only take so much volume in a particular time period. So let's say for example a week. And also when compared to muscles, they take a lot longer to adapt to certain stimulus. So if you look at this graph, your squatting volume in this example is increasing slowly, and then you have a sudden increase in volume. You're probably a bit silly and you're doing too much too quickly in that spike. And so the tendons become a little bit irritated by this, because within that spike, you've gone beyond the capacity that your tendons can handle. So to summarize, tendons respond to load. Stretching is not loading the tendon because you can't actually stretch them. So if stretching doesn't do anything, what can we actually do in terms of treatment for tendon injuries? So number one is initially reducing the load on the tendon. This will let it calm down a bit and it will reduce your pain in the early stages of rehab. Then what we want to do is gradually build up that load on the tendon and the surrounding muscles. A bit of pain is very normal during this early stage, so we say we want to stay around a 3 to 4 out of 10 pain score, so we don't want to go above that, and obviously below that is absolutely fine. So a 10 would be worst pain imaginable, and then a 0 would be no pain at all. From here, it's fairly simple. We keep gradually building up the volume with different exercise progressions, including some strength stuff, plyometrics, a few other bits. We keep building up until you reach your normal training volume, and hopefully this is with minimal or no pain. And then we give you some advice on preventing tendon injuries in the future. First point, so it'd be having an optimal training volume and intensity, and keeping those spikes from week to week or month to month to a minimal. So we got small jumps in training volume. Adequate sleep, so making sure you're doing the basics correctly, nutrition, things like that. And then I would also keep doing some prehab type stuff for the injured area. Now, in terms of a list of priority, it would be optimal training volume, sleep, and then it would be the prehab stuff. So if you're just doing the prehab stuff, it's not going to prevent that injury. You need to be managing your training volume correctly, doing the basics well in terms of sleep and nutrition, and then prehab stuff is like an additional thing that can help you a little bit. Hopefully that makes sense as to why stretching doesn't work for most weightlifting injuries, and then how I treat tendon injuries and how you can prevent them in the future. If you have any questions about anything in this video, drop them in the comments down below or drop me a DM on Instagram or Facebook.